Hello P&T committee. I created this quick video to show you how to use WeBWorK if you're interested. I'm assuming that since you're in here you are interested. You got to this video by clicking over here in course info. For me this video doesn't exist yet, so that link doesn't exist. When you get in here you see a lot of options. Students don't see all these options. All students really see is homework sets, password, email, that's so you can change your password if you want, and their grades. All this other stuff over here is there because you are actually set up as an administrator for this course. So you can actually go in and edit things if you wanted to. So what I wanted to use this for is to give you an opportunity to view WeBWorK sort of in its natural domain and see how students would use it. These are the 7 courses that I have written WeBWorK problems for. For Advanced Engineering Math, Calc 1, Calc 3, Differential Equations, History of Math, and Math for Business, I have created complete homework sets, so a faculty member could go in and choose just my problems if they wanted to, and use those exclusively and have an entire coursework. For Calc 2, I used some problems from Calc 2 from the problem library, and then I wrote some of my own. For Calc 1, as I mentioned in my dossier, there's actually a lot of WeBWorK problems that currently exist for Calc 1. The reason why we needed new problems is twofold, I would say. First of all, we wrote our own curriculum, and our curriculum changes up the normal timing of the problems, and so the way we ask questions is a little bit different than what's considered to be normal. The other reason why we wrote our own problems is because we believe strongly in making use of the rule of 3 in teaching calculus, so using algebra, graphical, and numerical techniques. And we wanted to emphasize those other, typically algebraic techniques are emphasized. We wanted to emphasize the other 2 techniques a little more. We also put a strong emphasis on putting our problems in context, which generally means solving word problems and using lots of units. So we have our own library of Calc 1 problems for the AUCI curriculum, and then I'd also written some Calc 1 problems before the AUCI. So you see these 7 courses here, and then if you wanted to pretend that you were taking Advanced Engineering Math, you could click on that course, for example, and start working on your homework. I selected 4 problems from all the problems I've written for Advanced Engineering Math to be my samples. These are the same ones that are printed out in the dossier, so you can click on problem 1, and then you can see this problem. You could type in the answers if you wanted to. Maybe the answer here is 0, and click submit, and it turns out the answer is not 0, so that's incorrect. WeBWorK tells you that you're incorrect. It doesn't really tell you what you've done wrong, it just says you're incorrect and doesn't give you a whole lot of hints. That's sort of the way it is. If you want hints as to what to do correctly, you email your professor. So you can click around and look at the samples that I've printed out if you wanted to, again in their natural domain. I don't know what the benefit to doing that is. If you do click on one of the problems, if you for some reason wanted to see the code, not sure why you would want to, but you might, you can edit the problem down here. So this is where I write all my problems. I hit that edit button and write stuff. In my dossier I mentioned the different sections of a WeBWorK problem, so maybe I could outline those real quick. This is the tagging information, so this tells you information about the problem. This is the section that loads up any additional materials that are going to be necessary. So if I wanted to make some kind of graph, I'd have to load up a macro here to make a graph. This is the actual code of the problem, so here's where I'm setting things up. I'm going to be using lots of different variables, and there's boy, that's a kind of nasty problem. So there's a lot of variables here to set up, and all these things are randomized in some way or another. And now we get down to begin text. This is another set of code that actually is the code that prints stuff to the screen. So this takes all the above code, this is in the programming language Perl, takes all that code. Well, it's in Perl and actually another programming language, PG, so there's 2 programming languages there, but seems a little bit much on the detail. This is the code here. This is something called LaTeX that takes all the Perl and PG code and prints something nice to the screen so it looks good. And then down here at the bottom we have answers, and then the end. Always look forward to getting to the end after all the work of writing this other stuff. So you could come in and edit a document, I suppose. And then as instructors, you could come in here to the homework sets editor, and there actually are other homework sets in here besides the ones that you've been assigned to. So you've been assigned to these 7, but if I go up here and look, I see that there's actually all these homework problems that have the word all in them. So this is all the problems that I have written, well, at least most of them. There's a few problems I don't have tagged that I don't have included in here, but I think 1548 is probably enough. So you could click on that and look at all the problems that I have uploaded. That might actually cause the system to crash, because WeBWorK's really not designed to have a homework set with 1548 problems in it. That's probably a good thing. Here's all the advanced engineering math problems, business math problems. I mean, you get the hint. So, I mean, you could, I guess, click around in those two. I don't know. Okay, so I mean, I can't imagine what else you might want to do in here. That seems like it. So anyways, again, this gives you a way to sort of another view of how WeBWorK works and the kinds of things that I do. So hope you're having a good time. I almost forgot to mention that this video is going to be included on the Alfred University WeBWorK YouTube channel. That's a channel that I created to post up videos for our faculty on introduction to WeBWorK and how to use WeBWorK. And there's also another YouTube channel that I have up there called Think Python AU. That is where I post my videos for the programming classes. So if you're on YouTube, you can just do a quick search for Think Python AU and my YouTube channel will come up.